I just started this. This is The Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm sure you already know that. I read the first chapter. That's it. I just started it. I like it. I think her writing's good. I like it. I like what I read. It made me sad. It made me, I'm like, damn, like, I really don't have it like that. Like, I wish I had two friends. Fuck, I wish I had one friend that I knew as well as she knows these two people. Like, it's awesome. But I like how she, I think she's a good writer. There's no typos. Hate when I read books with typos today. Like, there was only 3 pages and it made me feel something. Like, made me feel, you know, who knows. But this always happens to me with Emily Henry books. I feel like she starts out really promising. Like, she starts out good. I tried Book Lovers. I did not like it. I think that's a book I'd give another chance. I've read it up. Like, I got to the town. I got to her hanging out with them. I think I skipped to when they, like, went, like, a little skinny dipping because I got bored. It was just boring. I don't know why I got bored. It's just, like, I don't know. It's not necessarily, like, the quality of writing went downhill. It's just, like, the plot. Like, nothing was happening. I don't even know. I was bored. And then I got People We Meet on Vacation. Again, loved the opener to that book. Like, the first chapter made me smile so hard. But the book, it's a flashback book, so we keep going back and forth. And I personally don't mind those. My mom hates them, and, you know, I'm sure a lot of other people out there don't like them. I don't mind them, but it gets to a point. Okay, because you have these two best friends who were besties for years going on vacation, and then something happens on one vacation, and I think the flashbacks are going in chronological order of how they've taken the vacations, but it just took too long to get to what broke them up. I needed to know. It just got, like, to a point, like, you're chapter after chapter after chapter, and you're like, chapter after chapter after chapter, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Like, what happened so bad that you couldn't talk to your best friend for, like, what, 5 or 10 years? I don't know how long they went without speaking, but it was insane. And then the ending was rather abrupt, in my opinion. This isn't about that book, but it's about how Emily Henry writes her books. So I've read 1.5 of her books. I'm not gonna lie. I skipped the middle of People We Meet on Vacation because I was getting bored. But then I think I went back and I read what I skipped. I wanted to read this when it, like, first came out, but the library had it. They do this thing called, like, Lucky Day, where you get, like, a week. Like, they have, like, the most popular books on the shelf, and you can only check it out for a week. But you get your chance is the point. And I don't know. I think I grabbed it. It just isn't a book that I want to read in a week straight. Like, I want to laze. I want to peruse. I want to flip the pages. I want the pages to flip slowly through the wind, you know, because it's the happy place. It's a happy place, and it's a summer book. I wanna laze around by the pool and read this. If I had a pool. Beach read. I thought, oh my god. Okay, well, if she's come up with any more books, I don't know. But I've read almost every book on here. I wanted to read Beach Read. I thought Beach Read sounded really cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to that. But all her books are very summery. And I like that. I never noticed that. I really like that. Because I will specifically read summer books in the summer. Or even, like, it's kind of fun to read them. Like, there's no snow here anymore. And, like, everything's still dead. But as long as there's no snow, I can, like, mentally, I can be in summer. Like, I can be summer. I embody the season summer. But yeah, I like this book so far, and I hope it doesn't disappoint me. If it disappointed you, don't even let me know. I believe, like, the subliminals. I believe that if somebody hated something so much and they start telling me about how much they hated it, I'm afraid that I'm gonna start hating it. Not because, like, I'm a follower, just because, like, you know, the brain. The bitch is weird. You know? Yeah, that's it. I just finished this book. Before We Were Us by Denise Hunter. Again, another flashback. We're going back and forth through time. Again, did I really particularly like the book? No, not really. Did I really like the characters? No, I like the guy. So Good romance though. I think it was good romance, very fucking slow. And my, like, literally for most of the entirety, like, you have the first couple chapters and like the last chapter, but for like majority of the book they're not together, because this bitch, like, you have this couple, this boy and this girl. This boy lives on a resort on a lake, a really cute rustic cabin resort, whatever rustic means. And this girl is coming to work for them for like 8 months because she wants to get this job at this fancy party planning company. And so her boss is like, bitch, work here for 8 months and this job is yours. I need you to get experience. You just graduated out of college, but I want you to have experience. And she's like, okay, I'll work there. And she works there and she falls in love with the owner's son. And they're dating and they're going steady and they're super cute. Or so we think. I don't know. We don't really get to see it. It opens up with them. They're already like a couple months into their relationship. He's gonna... Okay, if you don't want to know what happens, bye. But he's gonna propose and this bitch falls off a ladder. She falls off a ladder. She forgets the entire summer. She forgets falling in love with him. She only remembers the first time, like the first couple months, I think, of them knowing each other, and they absolutely fucking hated each other because he was an asshole to her. But like, they spend most of the time apart and it's just boring. Like, she's stubborn. Like, I'm a stubborn bitch. I can only handle so much of myself in a book. She's stubborn. She doesn't want to remember him. She doesn't want to remember their love. She's like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. She doesn't want to look at pictures, at texts, and it's annoying. Like, I can only handle so fucking much. They don't offer to retrace her steps. Like, I love, like, in the vow, how he gave her pictures and shit. And obviously, I don't know, he gave her pictures and I don't know, trying to do stuff that retraces their memory would make sense, wouldn't it? It would offer at least a cute scene. I think they could have at least went to, honestly, like, I think I just needed at least one scene of them retracing their steps, because, like, nobody tried. And I could have just really used that. Like, they took a lot of day trips for the summer on her days off to cute little, like, waterfalls, events, you know, shit like that. Like, we could have did that. We didn't do that, and it's just kind of lame. It's kind of lame. Like, I wish he would have retraced her steps at least once, but she was a stubborn bitch, you know. The premise is really cool. Like, when you get to the end, you kind of find out why it's called Before We Were Us, and I was like, oh, hold up. That idea really eats, and I think everybody should do that for their spouse. And if you want to know what it is, bye if you don't want to know. He commissioned, they had this group of romance writers who came to stay at their resort, and he commissioned, I don't know if he commissioned, but one of the authors, he told them their story and how they met, how they fell in love, and all those points of time that she had forgotten. And the author wrote a book about them. She basically wrote this book. I love when, like, they write a book and it's the book you're holding. The author wrote this book, Before We Were Us, because she didn't really get all of her memories back, and they don't know if she ever will. But he's like, I figure if you don't get them all back, this is, you know, at least something. You can still at least know what happened. And I was like, that's awesome. So, okay, hold on. So it goes back and forth time. So we've got the past, we've got the present. So obviously all the points in time must be what that author wrote for their story Before We Were Us. I think that's so creative. But then you do have the present version, which is just like this author, Denise Hunter, wrote their story. So the fictional character wrote their past. You know what I mean? But I just think that's really cool. And I was like, if I ever fell in love, I would absolutely want to read that in a romance book if it were, like, worthy of it. But, which it better be. But how awesome is that? Think about that. Commissioning an author of your love story. Like, that would eat. I think. Yeah, Before We Were Us. 3 out of 5 stars. That's what I'd say. It wasn't a waste of time, though. It was, the writing is very good. You would, like, most romance books suck today. And there's no spice. There's no spice. It's literally just a couple, like, getting to be with each other. Like, a part that you know that it's no spice is there's this one scene where he's like, she's looking at their old text and he's like, I like you. And she's like, I thought we already established today that you love me. He's like, I do, but I also like you. And it comments about how like intimate that is, about how it's not just about sparks and romance and chemistry. He just genuinely likes her as who she is as a person, and he wants to spend time with her. Like, he wants to be around her, not just because he thinks she's hot. And I was like, that's what we're missing in today's romance, but also in books. It's all about the hotness, the smut, the fire, el fuego. Like, it gets lame. It gets boring sometimes. Like, I want to see them actually like each other, be a couple and talk. And there are those moments in the past, but honestly, yeah. I wish I could have just seen more of the couple. They were really cool. It was just kind of depressing because she didn't remember it and she didn't want to remember it, but it was good. It was good. I like the set, the place they were at. I just want to go to this place so incredibly bad. The end.